They say whatever holds the image of an angel is in itself an angel. So I guess that means my shirt is out to kill you. Well, anyway. Con review. The convention was pretty good. I've been to a lot of conventions over the last 12 years. I've been doing conventions since 2005, like anime, fandom, comic, you name it. And I really enjoy this con. I mean, it's close to home. It's only like 45 minutes away from me. And I have a lot of fun at it. But there are certain things that could use a little tweaking, and I hope that if any of the staff or anything see this, they take it as constructive criticism. It is not me trying to be rude or mean. I've been con staff before. I know how hard it is. So this is more of a just a little bit of input. But one of the things that I like is the venue. It's a very pretty convention center. The TD Convention Center is located in Greenville, South Carolina, about 2.5 hours north of Atlanta, or about an hour and a half south of Charlotte, North Carolina. And that way, if you're from another part of the country, you get a little bit of reference for where it is. Well, it's a very nice convention center, but one of the things is it's a bit out of the way when it comes to food. And there is only one cafe inside that does stadium style food, and they always have a line that is at least an hour deep because of the fact that they're trying to fit all the people that want food at the convention into that little cafe. So that is one of those areas that I wanted to critique, and whoa, sunlight. But I would honestly suggest the convention maybe next year looking into some food trucks or outsourcing for food or something to try to make it more convenient on the convention goers. Because yet another thing, parking is $5. It's one of the county things because the convention center usually ends up sharing the venue with another event. We end up with a larger part of the venue, but the smaller part of the venue tends to get the priority parking because it's either a church group or a fundraising event like it was Saturday night, and they get priority parking. So we have to park pretty far away, like across the street and down the street, in gravel with no lines, so that we can get to the convention. It costs $5 per day. And the thing is, to go get food, you actually have to leave the convention center area and go down the street at least a quarter of a mile before you start seeing any restaurants. And people who want to walk that, have at it. But in cosplay, it's not comfortable to do. Or if you've got kids that you're trying to take to get food, because a lot of the people that go take their kids. And so having a food source that's a little closer would be a great thing for the venue to consider. And the staff was amazing. Yet again, they pulled that rabbit out of their hat. In 2015, the convention was still pretty small. I think that was its second year. I was supposed to go, but I didn't get to. I was sick, allergies, But I had friends that went, and they said it was like 500 or 600 people. Not really anything huge, but still fun. And then last year, in 2016, it jumped up to like 3,100 people. And the staff handled it with grace and smiled their way through what could have been a disaster, because it was such a huge leap. And then this year, I know as far as Facebook says, 5,100 people said they were there. And that is not counting their kids. That is not counting the people who don't get on Facebook. That is not counting any of that. So there was at least 5,100 people there this year. And the staff, being completely overwhelmed, handled it quite well. And I actually ended up hugging one of the staff members backstage at the costume contest, because I could tell that she had the, if one more thing goes wrong, I'm gonna start screaming thing going on. And so I hugged the stranger and told her, hey, it's okay. I've been con staff before. I get how this is. I know exactly how you're feeling right now. And this is, I guess, where I'll say thank you to the staff, because they gave up their weekend to take on all the stress that goes into running an event like that so that me and my daughter and my best friend and a lot of my other friends could go and have fun and goof off for 2 days. But there was a bit of an issue with the costume contest, and I know it wasn't the staff's fault because, yet again, they were overwhelmed. And they had so many people enter that it literally made it to where the judges had no time with anyone because they did not do prejudging. Guess whose phone just ran out of memory while recording? Yeah, I had to go delete like 5 or 6 apps to be able to finish this recording. But okay, back to where I was. I was talking about the costume contest, and there was no prejudging, which is not only, to me, not fair to the contestants, but it's not fair to the judges either, because they're not getting as in-depth of a look at the craftsmanship level as they should be able to. I'm one of those people that really enjoys having a judge look over my stuff, because even though I've been sewing since I was 12, I still know that there's room to improve. Always is. And having somebody who's on another level than me telling me, hey, yeah, you did a good job with this, or this could use some work, or I see your strong points in this area, to me is a good thing, because I always strive to improve myself at whatever I'm doing. So I feel kind of bad for the judges in that department. And they did not have craftsmanship split up from the exhibition, I guess is the best way to put it. Most of the time conventions, the judges judge you on craftsmanship before the contest, and they've already decided their winners and everything, and you're just walking across stage for show. But they have it split up into 2 different categories: craftsmanship for the people who made at least 60% of their costume, and then exhibition for people who either A, do not want to be judged but want to get up on stage, or they didn't make their costume and they want to get up on stage. But they had all that grouped together. And in the video, you seen my little pan around of what it looked like backstage. That was a lot of people to just show up and go, hey, yeah, I want to join the costume contest. And you had the ability to sign up within like an hour of it starting. And so the judges were overwhelmed. The staff was overwhelmed. The contestants didn't even get to speak to the judges. You just got to walk up to their table at the end of the stage and basically stand there for 2 seconds, and then the judges got to write down something on a piece of paper, move that paper, and the next person walk up. It just, that to me just didn't seem like it was the way that that should be done. But like I said, I know that they thought that they didn't expect that many people to join, and if less people would have been involved, the judges would have had more time with each person, which would normally work. But the other thing that really irked me about the costume contest is it was in the same room as the dealer's hall and artist alley, so it was crazy loud. If it wasn't for the fact that the judges that the staff was backstage actually telling people when to go, you wouldn't have heard your name. You wouldn't have heard anything. And that stage area was set up all weekend because the costume contest was on Sunday. And that just, it took up a lot of space that could have been used to spread out the vendors, because part of the reason I don't have video for Saturday is because even though we had a Steadicam system and James had it on and it was just as wide as his shoulders, every time we tried to go through the aisles to get footage, we were getting bumped into. And James is like 6'4". He's a big dude. This camera was above most people's heads, but we were still getting bumped into. And then there was also an issue with the fact that certain booths from vendors and such ended up having some kind of sign that said, please do not film us, or different stuff like that. And so we had to go back and edit all of that in. But the costume contest, I think, was a learning experience for the staff. And my personal suggestion, take it or leave it, would be to next year try to do the contest on Saturday and try to book both sides of the venue. Since, I mean, I know venues are expensive. I've looked into starting a convention myself in this area, and you need at least $7,500 to get a bare bones, like no frills event. And so I know that the money is probably one of those things that's like, oh my gosh, that's expensive. But with the rate that this convention's growing, it probably wouldn't hurt for them to rent both sides for at least one day. And they could use the smaller side to set up cosplay stuff. Costume contest area, have more space for new types of vendors if they wanted to have all the cosplay related anything in that one room. And that would be awesome if that's something they could work out. But that's just my opinion on that. But I guess I will move on to other parts of the scoring here. But I guess I give it about a 7.5 out of 10 because the staff really impressed me, and I am very, very thankful for them doing what they did to make sure this worked. And the people who did win the costume contest earned it. Believe me, I saw their work because I saw them backstage. I actually tend to have a very critiquing eye in that department, and I looked them up and down. I seen how they did, what they had done, how their seam work was going, everything like that. It was spot on. Those guys did great. Guys and gals, that is. But to me, it just, even if I would have won something, it would have been like, I still want the judges to look at my work, inspect my work, critique me. But, yeah, I'll give the convention about 7.5 out of 10 because it is such a friendly staff and it is such a nice convention center. And they had it laid out well. They just did not expect that many people, I don't think. So it would have been a little different if there wouldn't have been as many people. The aisles would have felt wider. But I guess, yeah, that's my critique on venue and staff and the ability to cosplay there. And oh yeah, price. Can't really beat it. $24 for the whole weekend. And kids under 10 get in free. Yeah. So if you only went on Saturday, it was $17, and if you only went on Sunday, it was $12. Come on, that's how much you spend on food at one stop at a con. And that's your ticket price. So I really love the fact that the convention's a low price, and it is super family friendly. I did not see anything at any booth that was suggestive of anything that children should not be able to pass by. And they had everything very PG. Unless otherwise stated at the beginning, because like they have the drink and draw event on Saturday nights usually. But other than that, everything's very PG and very family friendly and very just mellow and chill. Okay, well, I guess that's it for my review. And I will be making another video here soon talking about my plans for the summer and the fall, because I am one of those people that plans everything very far in advance to make sure that I get to do everything that I want to do. But I will see you all in space, cowboys, and have a great day. Want to see this girl rap? It's scary, but I can do it.
Once upon a time in the ATL, in the land of the free and the brave as well. Met a little boy and they paid him well, but wouldn't know it cause he never leave a paper trail. Knew that he would have to devise a plan to get the white girls out, never mind the man. Give him high five, then a high five the man. So when he buy my brand, show supply demand. Leaving the venue in a white sedan, and when you want my band's hype, run a nice little grand.
I love Heath McMahon.